How's it going? Are there any cats in the audience? No, I said cats, dummies. It's about cats. Hell hath no fury like a cat lady. In my life, there's always been cats. My mom is a cat lady. My dad is a cat lady. As an only child, my siblings were named Fuzz, Mouser, Locatus, and Buffy because we're a family of total nerds. Growing up with many cats has made me cautious about how invested I've become with the homeless cat issue in Houston. I've managed to keep my personal cat population down to 2 indoor cats and the supervision of 3 porch cats. I cringe when I'm referred to as a cat lady because I know it could be worse. I keep as tight control as possible on the character traits that make me vulnerable to cat ladiness, empathy for animals, and a need to be a hero, a martyr mentality. But bitch, if I see you abusing some cats, or any animals of any sorts, I will fuck you up, and I will rescue some furry faces. See, I was driving home from work and relishing a stop at the grocery store to even out my blood sugar from not eating lunch earlier that day. Hangry is a state of being that I am unfortunately very familiar with. I exited onto the feeder to take me to Kroger when I saw a man walking along the feeder bridge with 2 cats that appeared to be roped together. He was holding them by the ropes and dangling them off the side of the bridge over the bayou as if at any moment he was going to drop them in. He was yelling loudly, and despite the AC being on full blast, I found myself hot and hard to breathe. I pulled over so I could take a second look and called my dad to talk through it, but all I could manage to say was, there's this guy and there's these cats and they're not right. My dad urged me to call the police, but not engage. Yes, Dad, very responsible response, but not gonna happen, so I got off my phone as quick as possible. I was slightly relieved to see the guy not dump the cats, but to continue to walk on the bridge heading west. And so I made the decision that I was going to get these cats and manage to speed around the intersection and freeway so that I could confront him head on. Unfortunately, this particular moment took me a lot longer than my nerves could handle. I have never consciously talked myself through the value of red lights, but determined that no cat would be saved if I was hit by a car and pulled over for illegal turns. I finally made it through and saw that he had walked quite a bit during the time I spent obeying traffic laws, but had stopped in between a sex shop and a Shell station. He was now dropping the cats hard on the ground and picking them up again, dropping them down again. One of the cats was trying to attack the other, but the other was just going limp. I drove into the Shell station and leapt out of my car, then leapt back in because I'd forgot to put the parking brake on. Then leapt out of the car to approach him and saw another guy was yelling and coming from behind him. I could not decipher what either of them was yelling about because they were not making any sense. Perhaps my ears were muffled with rage. I interrupted their shouting match with a scream, "Give me the fucking cats!" The violent guy paused in a moment, but then shouted back at me with some sort of garble and proceeded to try to hit the cat's back onto the ground as if to mock me. Continuing to be loud and screamy, I ran up and grabbed the ropes he was holding and kicked him as hard as I possibly could in the balls. Now, I'm not a fighter. I'm a run and hider. I don't really know how to hurt someone, and I don't really want to learn. If I need to defend myself, I'm not going to use my hands, my arms. I can barely open a peanut butter jar by myself. Usually my loud voice is enough to keep people away, but I know that I've got strong legs from biking and years of dancing training to know that I can kick pretty accurately, and kick I will. And kick I did. The guy weakened in a moment enough that with the help of the other dude, we pulled the cats away from him. I ran into my car and gently tossed one of them into the passenger seat. Unfortunately, the other wouldn't go in, and I saw immediately why. The cat in the car was hissing, and the other one looked ready to attack. The other guy helped me put the cat in the hatchback, and I got out of there as quickly as possible. I didn't get very far, though. My dad called me and apparently responded to the daughter-turned-vigilante. alert and was minutes away. I met him at the Kroger, and he looked after them while I went inside and walked off the adrenaline. When I came back out, my dad reported that the attack cat had calmly and considerably and accepted being petted and was now lounging on the back of my seat like a leopard on a branch. That when it occurred to me that these cats might belong to somebody. They were someone's pets, catnapped by this crazy jerk. My dad and I split the cats to take charge, and he took the formerly known as Attack Cat, but now renamed Stripey Cat. And I took the scarred gray one, who started to be called Earl because of the T reference, are important. The cats have been neutered, vaccinated, and are on their way to the next step in their lives. When posting the pictures online to get some attention from rescue groups and potential new cat parents, I found out that these cats belonged to a different homeless man who loved them a lot. Unfortunately, these cats had also had scars from wearing collars and harnesses that were too tight and rubbed the fur off. And while trying to find the previous owner, I was discouraged by the rescue workers, saying that he was not in a position to be taking care of them and that they'd tried to get him to give up the cats numerous times. I still tried to get in touch with him, but has now no such luck. Earl is available for adoption through Friends for Life. Right now, go to the website. And Stripey made too many friends at my dad's house that he isn't going anywhere. Both are really nice. The Stripey one hasn't been aggressive since being fed properly. Apparently he gets rage with hanger as well. Both have temperament of a big old kittens who like to play and play and play, and who don't seem to have absorbed any fear from their near-death experiences. Meanwhile, Fury is exhausting and comes with a hangover the following day. I felt bad for my students who didn't understand why I had no energy, but I didn't feel comfortable telling them a story that condones violence as a tactic. If only asking people not to be assholes worked. I don't care if you think I'm a crazy cat lady. It's okay to stand up for animals and to be humans who give a damn. I also want to introduce on the stage my adoptee, my cat Mittens. Mittens, would you like to come up onto the stage? I love Mittens a lot. Mittens I found on the street and took in. And I just want to show you my love. Bring it. Thank you.